The minister presented a statement to the House instead of a motion and indicated that he would not be seeking additional funds from Parliament. He touched on the country's return to the International Monetary Fund for a program.
Let me take this opportunity to discuss the issue of our return to the IMF. Yes, I know the government assured the nation of a Ghana beyond aid, and our plans and programs for economic transformation have been designed to achieve just that. And indeed, I did say that Ghana would not embark on an IMF program. We did not just say it, we also took measures towards the attainment of that objective, including the passage of the Fiscal Responsibility Act and instituting a number of irreversibility measures, and also launching the Ghana Cares Obatampa program for economic revitalization and transformation. Unfortunately, unprecedented global developments, Mr. Speaker, over the past 2 years, especially in these last 6 months, have really and truly disrupted our efforts.
He also announced the revenue measures that will show up the government's efforts to revive the economy.
The following revenue measures will be pursued in the remaining half of the year. EVAT. The digitalization of our revenue mobilization processes remains a key focus. Therefore, the GRA is finalizing all relevant processes to facilitate the effective collection of VAT revenue. This includes a proposed amendment of the Value Added Tax Act 870 to enable its electronic collection effective 1st October 2022. Property rates. It's fundamentally important that together with the Ministry of Local Government, we continue to assist and support the assemblies, not only to expand their revenue base, but to do so with optimal efficiency and effectiveness. Therefore, the collective efforts of the local government, the assemblies, and the GRA in launching an end-to-end digitized process will be realized in August. Extension of waiver of interest and penalty to December 2022, and introduction of upfront payment of VAT on importers not registered for VAT with implementation start date of 1st October 2022.
In view of the challenging times domestically and globally, the government presented its intention to revise its economic growth targets.
Based on the development for the first 6 months of 2022 and outlook for the rest of the year, we have accordingly revised the macro fiscal targets for 2022 as follows. Overall GDP growth of 3.7% down from 5.8%. Non-oil GDP growth of 4.3% down from 5.9%. End period inflation of 28.5% up from 8%. The overall deficit of 6.6% of GDP down from 7.4%. Primary surplus of 0.4% of GDP up from a surplus of 0.1% of GDP, and the gross international reserves of not less than 3 months import cover. Mr. Speaker, the 2022 fiscal framework has also been revised to the fiscal performance for the first half of the year, including shortfalls in the expected yields from the new 2022 revenue measures.
The minister also announced that all new roads constructed under a public-private partnership arrangement would be tolled.
Mr. Speaker, under the Ministry of Roads and Highways Public-Private Partnership Program for Road Infrastructure, the design, build, finance, operate, and maintain Accra-Tema Motorway and Extension PPP project 27.7 kilometers is at the procurement stage. Site work are expected to commence in September 2022. The Government of Ghana has made a strategic decision in line with the Public-Private Partnership Act 2020 to procure the Accra-Tema Motorway and Extensions project through GIF, with a mandate to deliver a GIF-led PPP financing solution where maximum funds are raised from the market. The majority of the project remains of GIF on behalf of the Ghanaian government. The draft concession agreement between GIF, the Ministry of Roads and Highways, is currently under review by GIF, Ministry of Roads and Highways, the Office of the Attorney General, and the Ministry of Finance. When completed, the concession agreement is expected to be approved by the PPP Committee, Cabinet, and Parliament. The completed road will be tolled.
After the presentation, there were the usual points of approval and dismay, depending on the side of the aisle that the spotlight fell on.
Resign! 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 Resign!
The minority responded to the presentation through its ranking member of finance, Dr. Keslato Forsen.
I just had a copy of the document itself, only to realize that between January 2022, January 2022, and June 2022, the minister responsible for finance and the government has gone to the Bank of Ghana, and they have encouraged the Bank of Ghana to print money worth 22 billion Ghana cedis. They have printed 22 billion Ghana cedis fresh money without the knowledge of Parliament. Colleagues, I am saddened. No wonder inflation is galloping. No wonder that our reserves position is dwindling. Because when you create a new money out of the thin air, what happens is that inflation will go up. And obviously, again, because it's a new money, you will end up losing your reserves because there will be new consumption. I am surprised that in the minister's statement, he failed to alert all of us that he has encouraged the Bank of Ghana to print new money worth 22 billion Ghana cedis, only for us to see it in this document. And you can see it in the media review document, page 97, appendix 2A. And the Bank of Ghana, they have printed 22 billion and 48 million Ghana cedis. 22 billion and 48 million Ghana cedis, new money that they have printed, without approval of Parliament, without informing all of us. This is illegal. It is against the Bank of Ghana Act.
Deputy Majority Leader Alexander Appenyo-Markin indicated that the minority's criticism was born out of only politics.
Posture of the NDC as the usual politics. As Mr. Speaker described, it is unfortunate, and that we all thought this democracy has come far, but they would not want to reason with us by looking at the real issues. It is our submission as a government that we are focusing on reviving the economy. That is why government is still putting in place incentives to support industry. The 1D1F is still a major private sector initiative of this government. That if we are able to industrialize, Ghana will be beyond aid, and that government is focused on. Let me touch on free SHS. We would, for the umpteenth time, at the risk of being repetitive, re-echo the fact that many of our young girls and boys were left out because their parents or guardians could not afford secondary education. I stand here as a member of Parliament. It was by luck and the grace of God that took me through secondary education. If I was not that lucky, if the grace was not sufficient at that time, between 1995 and 1997, I would have dropped out. In my final year at St. Augustine's, it took the bursary of Parkway Syndrome, which bursary I won, that got me to register and pay my final year fees. Can we talk about the many more Ghanaians then and now who were in my situation and did not get any help? So I do not want us to water down the investment this government has made in the free SHS. It is a major investment. Millions of Ghanaians are benefiting. And today, somebody from the hinterland can have access to first-class school. This, I believe, we must sustain. And government is saying that it is not giving up on it.